Hey guys, it's Easy here again with another dev diary. Just wanted to show you a quick battle with some custom factions that have been added to the game. Um, as you already know, maybe in one of the announcements on the forum and on Discord. Um, I have been expanding a bit my mod team, as I was before almost entirely myself 100% responsible for the units. So now I have some help for some team members. Shark, for example, is responsible for the custom faction unit, so I can concentrate on the main storyline. It means the factions that will play in that campaign, and other things of course also. So what does that mean? Of course I still help him if he needs some unit parts or textures or whatsoever, of course. So but at least in those cases I have to do a bit lesser work. That means that I can speed up a bit. I also announced that that there will be two campaigns, or campaign maps you can say, in the V2 version 2 one. So the first one is a mini campaign that will concentrate on the rise of the Japanese empire, you could say, where the Japanese become a world power, and also and only situated in the Japanese, Korean mainland, together with the Far East Russia and Outer Manchuria, in the map that is already available now on the game. Of course not yet working, but it's already there. And the other campaign map will be a bigger one, will be the Scramble of the Far East, the rise of imperialism, or the height of imperialism in Asia. Of course, we all know that that happened, sadly, after the first Opium Wars, you could say. So that's why the reason why we are making a lot of custom factions for maybe battle maps that have nothing to do, or custom battles has nothing to do with the main storyline, is that I will use all those assets for future projects I will do, because I will always concentrate on the Victorian age. So of course the more work that has been done now, the lesser work I have to do in the future or for future projects. I can then just concentrate on, for example, only the campaign map if I want to make a new campaign map. But of course that's for the future. Now we concentrate on the mini campaign map. I hope to have a first release this year, of course, and yeah, that you will enjoy it. Of course, the first release of the campaign map will only be the tier 1 units that will be available. So after, when I finish revamping the cavalry and have a public release somewhere in some weeks, maybe in the middle of July, I hope, at least somewhere in the middle of July, because I'm leaving this week now on vacation, so I cannot do that much, sadly. So then I can start on the navy of those main factions that will be part of the mini campaign, and then I can start working on the campaign to have an in-progress campaign end of this year already. So because I'm sure a lot of people really want campaign, everyone wants to play a mod for the campaign, not just for multiplayer battles. But okay, I'm just saying that I made a special announcement some hours ago. I mean, many hours ago. I made a special Discord release some hours ago, where you can play with the latest alpha. So the units and factions that you see now, or if you have seen previously, are all available if you join my Discord. I've made it especially for my Discord fans, as they have been always supportive, always giving feedback. So I hope you join, download that alpha version. It's not yet the release, of course, for the forums, but it's just a personal, you could say, Discord release to test out a bit the new features in the mod. Also, of course, hope with a new public release in some weeks to have some people that like to join some multiplayer battles, because I can see that a lot of people do like to do multiplayer, but that's not that much, to be quite honest. But maybe it has to do because there are not so much factions. That's also one of the reasons that we are making a lot of custom factions for battle, for multiplayer battles, so we can really make like really cool battlefields that have been done in the 1850s, because the tier 1 are 1850s, or other ones of course, but that you at least can enjoy with a lot of like cases where you can, for example, there were battles in Central America in the 1850s. One of them was the Battle of La Arada between Guatemala and El Salvador and Honduras, where they fight, actually where Guatemala fight for its independence. And we can also do, for example, a Mexican-American war battle. I mean, it's a bit late for it because it was in 1848, but we can do some battles like that. Or of course we can do some Crimean War battles. I have someone in the mod team, Zoiso. He was going to be, I mean, he's going to make some custom battle maps so we can then enjoy the multiplayer battles if we of course if you want to join. So now I'm going to not brabble anymore, so join my Discord, have that special release. You can have it, you can play it today. It's a big mod file, I mean zipped of course, it's compressed, but it's still 5 gigs. I think the game by itself is 13 gigs already, I think, so it's becoming really big. But after I have a public release, it will go a bit down, because then I can take some files out that are not necessary anymore. But okay, so here I am playing as a new custom faction have been added. The faction, the nation is El Salvador that I'm playing, and I'm fighting against Guatemala and Mexico. They all also have been added. So there are not so many units, of course, because they didn't have that much. The sources are not that much as, say, for example, the United States or British or French nations or Prussian nations. So, but they have new units, but of course not that much. But here we have the normal line infantry of the El Salvador army. Pretty cool with those cool straw hats. Then we have here the standard smoothbore guns, as you have seen before. These are the 12 pounders. Then we have here the militia units of the El Salvadorian army. So pretty cool. And then you have already seen the entire army, the light infantry and the militia. Here we have the Dragoons, so the cool Dragoons we have here. And there you have then the Saber cavalry. They all look a bit the same, of course. So here the Saber cavalry. So now you have, of course, we have here also the before I forget, the 6 pounders smoothbore guns. And here we have the general staff with the general, of course, with the Salvadorian flag. Then we have Guatemala. I hope I can see everyone, of course. Here we have Guatemala's militia with the sombreros and the flag and officer. Here we have the 6 pounder guns. So I gave them 6 pounders and 12 pounders. They all look the same, except of course the gun 12 pounders are a bit bigger. Here we have the line infantry, those light blue and kind of beige brown pants. Okay, here we have the general staff with the general and the flag of the standard bearer. So then you already have seen it. Normally also have cavalry. So here we have the dragoon units and the normal saber units. So those are dragoons. Where are the saber one? Here are the saber cavalry. So they look a bit the same. Then we have the Mexican army. We have the 6 pounder field guns. But let us wait until they come out all, because let me take out a bit the sound, because the sound is just a bit too much for me. Okay. Let's hope I don't have a crash, because sometimes, especially when I get an email or whatsoever, then the game crashes. So yeah, okay. So here we have the Mexican line infantry, and here we have the militia, it's the same as the Guatemalan army. And here we have the National Guards of Mexico. Here we have, of course, it lags a bit, but it's because of the the battle map. Especially I know this battle map can lag sometimes, so just for you to know. 6-pounder field guns. Here we have the famous Lancers from Mexico. Those round heads, pretty cool. Yeah, that's it actually. I also gave them cuirassiers. Yeah, because they have cuirassiers, but maybe they're probably hiding somewhere in the trees. Here we have the general staff with the officers. With the officer, of course. So Mexico has the, you could say, from all Central American nations, they have the best cavalry. They have cuirassiers, they have dragoons, they have those lancers, you have militia lancers and saber cavalry. So they have the best cavalry unit, you could say, from all Central American countries. But the infantries are a bit the same, except that the Mexicans have the guerrillos or guerrillas. Those are light infantry militia, you could say, and the other ones don't have it. So just for you to know. So you could say the land units, I mean the infantry units, are pretty similar. What kind of rifles or muskets do they use? It's not very easy to find any sources, but in some sources that Shark found and I found, most of them used flintlock muskets still. The Mexicans, for example, were still using the Brown Bess muskets until they actually started to converting in 1860 to more percussion style mine muskets. And the same for the other Central American nations, except Costa Rica. Costa Rica had also flintlock muskets when they were fighting against the filibusters. They're in Honduras and Costa Rica. But they bought from, for example, from the British the Enfields, the 1853 mini Enfields, but only like 500 pieces for the army, so it was not that much. Of course, their army was around 9,000 regulars, so most of them still had the Brown Bess flintlock muskets, because they also bought Brown Bess flintlocks still. So yeah, they're a bit weaker, you could say, but that doesn't matter. You know, tactics are tactics. You know, even with lesser tech, we can still beat a stronger nation. But you will see that, you know, the bounce bar is pretty. I got my FPS counter, of course. The bounce bar is, of course, pretty in their favor, and I also have tweaked the AI. Now, the AI is always crap, sadly, in Total War. We already know that the AI sucks. But I changed some parameters that benefit a lot the AI. So I'm playing on normal, and while I can still win against AI, because, you know, as a human being we just are better, you could say, in flanking and everything, you could see that it will be very tough. Now, especially now, because in military technological advancements we are pretty inferior. Sadly, because with our Brown Bess muskets, they also have Brown Bess muskets, but they have more men. Of course, they have double the amount of men. I think they have each 4,500 men, so that's 9,000 men, and I have around 4,500 men, you could say. So we have like around 14,000 men on the battlefield. So that's pretty a lot, of course. And actually the game runs pretty smooth. Because of the low polygons that I've given them for most of the unit parts. Sometimes you get lags because, yeah, that's most of the time of the custom battle maps that sometimes has those issues, but normally it works pretty well. So yeah, you will see me battling them. It will be very hard battle, as I said, especially when you play on the hards and very hard. Then it's going to be hard, you could say. It's much more difficult to really beat the AI because of the morale system. I changed a bit, so you will see it. I'm sure if I was maybe playing against the French or something, that I could hold out much better because of they're using rifled muskets, So yeah, it's, you know, there's a big difference between rifle muskets and not only and smoothbore muskets, but not only that, also the kind of lock that they are using. The locks, they are using flint locks, while for example the French were using already the percussion lock. So okay, let's see some battle. And listen all the smoke. As you can see, the cavalry started to flank here. The bastard here was like trying to... I already put my cavalry here, but yeah, you know, I have to do so much micromanaging, so I couldn't see directly that he was going to start to charge here. You can see they already are tired, so don't become too tired, because you use a lot of melee bonuses, you lose a lot of reload bonuses and accuracy bonuses, so yeah, it diminishes a lot. So the more tired you are, the worse you fight. So the bastards just... So then I saw it was like, oh, I have to send my infantry. So yeah, I was beating them back. There's a bit of lags here, sadly. Here I put myself in square formation, of course, because I knew they were going to charge. Why? Sometimes I get lags, and I don't know why. See, now it works like perfect. So then the battle map sometimes can be laggy. Here's the Mexican cuirassier. Lags. Here, maybe because I'm moving the camera. I don't know. Mexican cuirassier. So yeah, I beat back the cavalry here. So I was, you know, going behind them because I know that they are wavering, but that didn't mean that they are going to be beaten. So because now it takes much longer to be beaten, so they waver and then they come back, even if they are exhausted. So I really had to go behind them because to beat them entirely, and now they were beaten. So here I was fighting back against the Mexican cavalry, the Mexican cuirassier, very heavy cavalry, of course. Of course, they are, you know, they are charging right in front of my units. I mean, even if you have heavy cavalry, guys, it is a Victorian age. Sorry, but that doesn't work anymore as before. So you get crushed. Big example: Charge of the Light Brigade. I think you already know that. Charging 2 guns doesn't work anymore. So you have to be really you have to use your cavalry really in a smart way, flanking or scouting, for example. So that is what cavalry is especially very useful for. And they were here. Am I starting to fire? I'm getting crushed. Am I using a canister? Oh, no, just normal gun. I've beaten them. Man, I really suck in giving commentary for battles. Actually, I think Jackie Fish and all, and Roy John, you do that. Ooh. See here, man, my left flank was completely crushed, completely. Of course, it was militia holding the left flank. I just couldn't. I'm getting overrun like crazy. So this is the Guatemalan and Mexican. The Mexicans are on the left side. Most of the army on the right side are a mix.
Your general is under attack.
So I of course had to put my reserve troops there so to help out, because they were of course going to my guns here. Yeah, I mean, I can go to the left side. You see my left side just running away. I put myself in square formation just to hold back the cavalry, of course. This is the saber cavalry of the Guatemalan army. I'm getting completely crushed here. This is my line infantry still holding on, but yeah, this was... Oh.
sir.
Fighting hard. Of course they're retreating. This is the guns. I know. Why in heaven's sake are the guns here? I mean, that bloody bug, eh? So here I put my line infantry. Alright, that sound is the Deguello, very famous battle sound used by the Mexicans at the Battle of the Alamo. You probably will know that if you have ever seen a movie. Of the 1960s, of course, not the newer one. Deguello was used by the Spanish. Remember, they took it from the Moors. So most of the Latin American nations will have the Deguello available when you're using the military cadence. Here I'm trying to hold back.
A unit has grown weary, sir.
I'm just getting crushed everywhere. So trying to hold here, but I'm losing so much men. You see, they all have the brown vests. These are the militia and the national Mexican Guard. I mean, the game runs smooth. Just if you sometimes move the camera for one reason or another, you sometimes have an issue. With the normal vanilla maps, you don't have that issue. So just for you to know, it's not the game. Not normal. Here they're of course charging my men here. The militia, Guatemalan militia and the Mexican National Guard. Trying to really hold them, but you will see later I just retreat all my armies behind that line to defend because I just know I can't hold it. You know? And that's why I say if we had the older AI, maybe we could win the battle because of the fatigue system. The problem is that the AI can't handle the fatigue system. It's really annoying. So I had to change a bit the fatigue system into a more morale system. So at least you have better fighting AI. As you can see, I just the Deguellos again. This is my militia, but you know. Trying to help my line infantry to hold up so I can then later on retreat my men. But I just can't. It's just so difficult. Here my militia. Here the guns firing. Ooh. Come on guys, come on. Fire! Fire! Cannons bye-bye. Cannons are bye-bye. No more cannons anymore. Just getting crushed completely. So here I'm trying to like countering the attack with all my troops, as you can see, but it just doesn't work. There's just too much men. I'm fighting so hard here. And why in heaven's sake are they not firing? So of course my guns are fleeing. I'm trying here on the left side to keep the left side busy so they're not put all their troops there. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to charge my general to destroy those units here, of course. Like trying to hold them back, but then I saw, oh no, they are getting crushed. I have to retreat. I have to retreat behind here. So I would say, okay, I will destroy that unit here. And then I will retreat my general because I do want to lose my general because you know the morale of my army will be very low. So here I just retreat my general's staff and my general unit, of course. And as you see, I retreat all my armies behind the defensible line here. In you could say the sand fort or whatever. So here I'm still like keeping them busy, so then they, they still have to send troops to the left side. So then it gives me a bit of time in the center. But you already can see the morale is really low for my militia. I mean, I'm trying, but yeah, it doesn't really work here. I'm playing on normal, just for you to know. I'm playing on normal. So, just for you to know. Of course, this is my line infantry. They normally hold a bit better than all the other guys.
The men tire, sir. They require rest.
Okay, here. So here you see I put a more defensible line here behind. I mean, I already know I was lost. I mean, look the amount of men they still have here. I was like, yeah, forget it. I will never win this battle. You know. Here I was like, oh, here's my cannons, just charge, man. I mean, what else am I going to do? But I was certain in the time they will never go. I mean, they will never go there. They will probably break before. Yeah, that's slow. Yeah. Yep, hang on. Whoa, there's lightning outside. So here I'm trying to, of course, give them suppression fire to give them like a morale, but not very easy, you know. We have the militia here. This is the Mexican militia, and this is the Guatemalan militia. So they're pretty all mixed here. So you can see all here the dead. It's crazy how many. I really like that map, except that sometimes it's laggy because I think maybe because of the amount of trees, and also it's laggy because it has to render the entire horizon, because the map, if you ever use TED, you have to put mountains so you do not render beyond the horizon. That's why you get issues, sadly. But okay, good to know for next time, you can say. Here, of course, the general staff was here. Just trying to destroy them, of course. You see that using flintlock muskets still. Is the general? Oh yeah, it's supposed to be the general's craft. Fire or not? Fire? Oh, he did. I think I still have to give them the right animation, because they have to have, normally they have to put the bullet inside the muzzle. This is actually an animation for a breech loaded revolver. This is of course the muzzle one. So I have to pick, and as you can see I'm trying to give them like, but yeah, because it's the general, it has a bit higher morale, so it's a bit more difficult. Take long. Come on. Oh yeah. Bye bye.
The general is dead.
Here is this one. Is this one already dead or not? Oh no. Come on. Destroy the general. Destroy the general. Nice, bloody militia. Can't fire. Okay. 671. Oh, it's like protecting his general. Like, no sir, you can't die. We need you. The battle is going on for like 20 minutes. Now it's breaking. Now he's running away, and now you're alone, huh? Oh, you bastard! Can you not? Come on, can you not? One shot! Come on! Really, guys? Come on, fire! Oh, the reload is so bloody slow. Yeah, I missed. Come on, yeah, that's finito. Get it. He gone. He gone. Oh, that is so bad, leaving your men behind. Fleeing, your general is fleeing. But okay, here I put my men back, my militia units, of course, to protect my left flank here. Here's my general's units. I put, of course, them in loose formation, so for the bullets. But you could already say, guys, that I lost the battle. I mean, yeah, it's just too difficult. Plus, you know, here's militia. This is line, I guess. This is line, but you know, militia, they're poorly trained, so yeah, forget it. Of course, they also have a lot of militia, but also line infantry here. Remember that battles, of course, with flintlocks is a bit slower, of course, than with mini rifles. Because, you know, mini rifles have a higher accuracy, better damage, or higher damage. So, then you know that. So maybe if I had the French or the British, then maybe I could win this battle, you know? But yeah, too bad. That's how it is, and that's how it is. So let me know what you think about the models. And all, and you know, join my Discord, guys. Do some MP battles. You know, I really want to see some pics. I want to see some replays. I want to see some videos, you know, of the mod, because I think, you know, if people like Victorian age style warfare, then by all means, you know, play the mod. I think there isn't really a mod that really goes to the Victorian age. I mean, Shogun 2, I mean. I know in Napoleon Total War they have some Victorian age style mods, like the Zulu mod and the Resurgimiento mod. I think it was for Italian unification. I'm not sure. Some other mods I think also available that are, you know. I try to have all units deck between the 1850s and beginning 1900s. That's my goal, of course, to have all those units or spawned on military text. It would be pretty awesome if we have that. It will take time, of course, but at least have something. Yeah, I lost fired ammunition. Here I'm going to charge. Let's take the Deguello. And okay, is it slow motion, guys? What is it? I'm sure they will be gone before I even charge. Good, nice charge. There's the National Guard. Burp.
Damn lily-livered cowards! Your men are running, sir.
Yeah, my men are having difficulty. Yeah, I'm already wavering, so in here I'm scattered, of course. Here, yeah, finito here, I mean. Much more difficult, man, to battle. Yeah. I put here the flag for routing units that they can go back and rally there. It's already too late. I mean, no, what I was talking about it takes a bit longer than expected, because I made many mistakes in those 2 years of developing the mod, you could say. The first mistake was actually not adding lots to the game, so I had to remake or reconvert them, all of them, so I had a lot of them, so yeah, that was annoying. And then yeah, of course I made a mistake of not using the converter for the texture maps, you could say, so I had to do it all over again. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of waste of time. If I knew that in the beginning, I had maybe already a campaign map available. So, but okay, we learn sometimes through the hard way. So okay, okay, I'm getting my butt kicked. Coming back, but I mean, those guys, I mean, they're just so battered. So I mean, look the amount of men. I will never. I mean, come on. I mean, this is not Thermopylae, but to get that, I will never win that battle. I mean, come on. Look how much men they have still. I mean, yeah, I was really surprised because I was like, okay, maybe I could at least destroy maybe half of their men. You know, even if I don't win, but I actually didn't. I didn't really kill that much of their troops, you know. Yeah, I really lost a lot of men. Let's see, maybe if I have the unit statistics later on. If not, then yeah, they're not, of course. But I'm really getting my butt kicked here. Yeah, I put them here because they didn't have any ammunition anymore. So yeah, here I was like, okay, I'm just going to charge, whatever. Last stand. So yeah. I mean, I hope you like this death diary, you could say. I think the next death diary will be about the official release of the mod on the forums, with all the custom factions that have been added. I mean, you already can play the latest one, the one I'm playing now. It's available on Discord. So please join Discord, give some feedback, play the mods, share with each other. And you know, share with other people. I think not a lot of people really have any knowledge about this mod, I guess. I don't know, because not a lot of people are playing it, I'm not really sure. But here I'm trying to charge it. I mean, as you can see, I mean, will they reach there? I don't think so, right? Are they going? Are they not going? I don't know what the heck happened. Yeah. They're breaking, right? Oh yeah, they're breaking. Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened here. It's like they're standing there and then like, okay, okay. Okay. Did that happen in the game? I doubt it happened in the game. I think they actually directly run when they scatter, they run. So I think this thing actually didn't happen in the game. So yeah, we're going to run away. What the heck happened here? I don't remember, but you know, they are scattered, so normally they have to, you know, they have to flee. I did this. Okay. That's strange. That part actually didn't happen. But yeah, replays, there is just like AI is trying to you could say reimagine the battle. It's not really like a 100% replay, because here you see my men. I hear, because I remember, yeah, I didn't have this man anymore, so I charged my general. Here I charge my general here, so of course they're retreating. That part didn't happen. They already run away. Oh, if finished, or maybe it happened. I don't remember. But normally they are scattered. They have to run away. So this was the end of the battle. And yeah, it was as I said, I mean, I got my butt kicked, and I'm playing on normal. Of course, I'm not playing as one of the major powers, so that makes also, you know, it helps a lot also if you are playing a major power, because you know your military tech is better than some other nations, minor nations. So as I said, they were using the brown Bess, smoothbore flintlock musket, of course. So yeah, that will not help. But yeah, the Mexicans and Guatemalan were also using brown Bess, so in theory it was even. But it was just numbers, you know. As you can see here, I deployed 4,500 men. Sadly, I can't see who are the winners, who is what, but okay. I deployed 4,500 men. I think 4,500 men were the Guatemalans and 4,100 men were the Mexicans, because they had 2 guerrilla units and they are a bit lower in manpower. So I lost 3,372 and I killed 3,500 men. Guatemalans only lost 1,700 men and the Mexicans lost, okay, more than the half, but at least I beat them. But as you can see, you know, the AI is not so easy to beat anymore. Of course, it depends. If you play, for example, with Great Britain, France, the Prussians, or other nations that have a better military tech and they are a major power, and it's easier to beat, of course, minor nations, but they will still put a stiff resistance. And it also depends on which difficulty setting you're playing. I played as normal, and as you can see, it's not so very easy anymore. The morale system has been revamped a bit, so it takes a bit much more time before the AI starts to run away from a battle. They will still run away if they lose a lot of men, but not like as before. I changed it so I gave the AI a bit more a chance to win a battle and to make it for the player a bit more difficult. Is it cheating? You could say so, yeah, but it's the only way to make it a bit easier or cooler to battle the AI, because if you're playing on normal, I kicked the AI's butts. I play on hard, I still kick the AI's butts. I even play on very hard, I still won, even with all the buffs they were receiving. So now a bit, I can see that it's a bit more difficult to play the game, you know. So here we're going to see the amount of kills. So my infantry has 372 kills. I lost 250 men, so they have the best, of course, of my units. And from the Guatemalan infantry, the militia. Well, I never expected militia will. Well, of course they killed 242, but they lost 207. I mean, come on. Deployed 280 men, only 8 men left. I mean, yeah. Even if you kill a lot, I mean, this is a terrible loss for the unit. So, but they didn't do that bad. So, let's see the second CPU, the National Guard. Same issue here, only 12 men left actually, 219 kills. So, it was not like a lot, you could say. Guns as usual didn't do nothing. That's the only thing, if I ever could change the source code, is the only thing I would change. Okay, I will change maybe the way AI behaves and whatsoever, but the only thing I will change is the algorithm of the cannons, because it's a disaster. The cannons just suck so hard. They shoot sometimes, then they limber, and sometimes they are limber again to shoot, but most of the time they don't do it, except in defense. In defense they do it, most of the time, not always. But sometimes I just want, if I could change the algorithm, the way the cannons could behave, like for example, say, okay, to the cannons, if you can create an algorithm, a simple one. You could say, okay, cannon, move forward until you detect the enemy unit. If you detect the enemy unit, you limber, you limber. Detect the enemy unit. If you are, of course, if you are in firing range, for example, you're 800 meters firing range, enemy unit is at 800 meters, detect unit, okay, go forward for 50 meters, so then they are in range, because you know, computers sometimes you have to be very specific. On limber, and then fire until ammunition is empty. pretty easy. And then you could say, yeah, but what if the enemy retreats or whatsoever? Well, then if the enemy retreats and you don't detect the enemy unit, you limber again, and you do the same thing over and over. You just loop it, and you can just loop the code before. It's pretty simple. So it's a simple code that you could use to make that algorithm for the cannons only. You know, detect the unit. If you detect the unit, fire range is 800 or 750 or lesser on limber. Fire until ammunition is empty. If the enemy unit retreat is not anymore in range, so it's not anymore true, you limber again and you just loop over again. Pretty simple. You don't need to make a crazy sophisticated algorithm because the AI can't handle it. But okay, that's my opinion. I'm not a developer, so I mean, I have programmed a bit in the past, but I'm going to now learn to do Lua for scripting for the mod. But I've programmed in C in the past to do some hardware stuff. So, but that's a pretty simple algorithm that you could use just for the cannons. So if we had the source code available, we could do it. Of course we can't, or maybe, I don't know, I've never really looked that deep into those stuff, but I'm sure it's hard-coded. You can sadly not change those stuff. But that's the only thing. Okay, the units, yeah, okay, what can you do? They're stupid, they will be stupid, but just make a simple algorithm for the cannons and that's actually it. So then at least they fire until the ammunition. They have at least a goal. Now they just fire a little bit, they just move forward until they just go into enemy lines, they get killed. So stupid. But okay, let me not rant about the game. The game is good. Shogun 2 is a fantastic game. So for me, it's my favorite game. Fall of the Samurai, hands down, favorite game from all Total War games. I bought 3K. I played just one battle and I was bored. I'm sorry. And I have the game actually, but I was so bored. I was like, oh man, this boring, man. The battle. I've seen the campaign. I've never played a campaign, so who knows? I changed my mind. But I've seen the campaigns of some reviews that I saw of some Total War YouTubers, and yeah, I mean, it looks pretty awesome. The campaign, the diplomacy system, and whatsoever. It looks pretty cool. But you know, I'm just, you know, after Rome 2, it always have been melee or fantasy. And yeah, I'm in for a more gunpowder style of game, and of course that the modding capabilities are as large as here in Shogun 2, but I doubt it because all the modding tools that were made for all the games after Shogun 2 were pretty abysmal. While there were modding tools, you couldn't change the campaign map, and I think to have a real overhaul mod, you have to have the possibility to change the campaign map. If you can't change the campaign map, well, then you can't make an overhaul, sadly. Yeah, you can change stats, add new models, add new scripts, and that's pretty cool. But you can't change the campaign map. That's really stupid, but okay. Let's hope they ever make a Victoria Age Total War, but I doubt it because they're busy now with 3K and then probably add a lot of DLCs on it. Then they will make a Warhammer 3. I just don't like fantasy, not really for me. The only thing I could ever maybe see myself playing is a Lord of the Rings game. There's a mod actually for Shogun 2 called Last Alliance. Check it out, it's a pretty good mod. I'm helping a bit by giving advice, but Sarah is doing a fantastic job for the Last Alliance mod. But I'm more for you know, Empire Total War, Napoleon Total War, Victoria Age of course is or a pack and shot. But yeah, let's see. Of course 3K sold very well, so I don't know if they are maybe going more to a fantasy style of gaming, because the 3K Kingdoms Total War, 3K, that I could see they really put a lot of emphasis in romance mode, and that didn't do so much for records mode, and records mode is the historic part, and I feel that they put lesser effort in the historical game than they put effort in the fantasy style of game, you could say. So I just hope that doesn't let them like go forward to go a more fantasy style way of Total War, because I got the feeling that for them, fantasy style maybe would sell much better, you know. And of course it's normal, if you sell much more then you will go more to that route. But I hope not, of course. I hope that, you know, the core game of CA was a historical game, so I hope they put their emphasis there. But okay, let us stop talking about Total War and talk about the mod itself. As I said, there's a special release on Discord. You can test out the latest one. The one I played was that one. And if you have any feedbacks, suggestions, let me know on the comments below, of course, here on the YouTube or on Discord. Guys, if you want to support me, you can support me on Patreon. I'm working really hard to make this mod available for you guys. You get a lot of perks, you could say. You get a lot of new stuff. You get the latest alphas always, or the betas, depends on what kind of support you give me, but you always get something. I am also at Patreon. I'm using to buy a lot of assets sometimes that, you know, sometimes I don't have time to make assets and I just buy them then also. I have a lot of future projects I want to do. That is one of the reasons that it takes a lot of time to make all the units, because I'm trying to make all nations that were available during the 1850s. I mean the whole world, all the nations that were available. And that is because I will use it for future projects, because the more I make, if I have all factions and all their units, and I ever want to make another campaign of something else during the Victorian age, I don't have to concentrate anymore on models. I just can concentrate fully on the campaign, and that makes, I mean, me happy, and I'm sure also you happy. So if you want to support me on Patreon, you can support me on Patreon. All the links are down to my Patreon. Support me on Discord if you want to, and like and share. See you then, guys. Bye bye.